who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hey, sports fans, Larry Elder here. Welcome to another edition of And Another Thing. Believe it or not, this is edition number 51. If you'd like to become an Eldorado, go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form. You will get a free copy of Michael and Me, my award-winning feature-length documentary where I explore the Second Amendment and where I confront the esteemed director, one Michael Moore, and ask him 3 times how often Americans use guns to defend themselves. And 3 times he says, well, you have to get the DVD to find out. Now for edition number 51 of And Another Thing. There are 2 things I want to talk about. The first one is this so-called game that teenagers and young people have been playing all over the country called Knockout. Unfortunately, the people engaging in this game have, from what I can tell, been every single time been black, and the victims of the game every single time have been white. In fact, in Brooklyn, there's a game called Knockout the Jew, where apparently several Jews have been targeted. And the idea is that somebody comes up to an unsuspecting passerby and swings and hits him or her in the face, knocks him down, and the idea is to knock him out. This is not even about robbery, not even really about revenge. It's just about whether or not you can knock somebody out with one blow. Some of the kids are calling it one-hitter quitter. It is disgusting. It's been going on for a long time all over the country. The media has been underreporting it because, you know, they don't want to make black people look bad because that would be racist, and they don't want to advance the agenda that maybe, just maybe, black people may be as vicious and racist as white people allegedly are vicious and racist in the minds of a lot of black people. And there's a book called White Girl Bleed a Lot by a guy named Colin Flaherty. He writes for WorldNet Daily. You can go online, take a look at the book. You're not going to see him interviewed on CNN. He's not going to be on Today's Show. He's not going to be on Charlie Rose on PBS. He's not going to be on Tavis Smiley. He's not going to be on virtually anywhere. Why? A, he's white, and B, he documents these instances of white people being targeted for no reason other than the fact that they're white by black people all over the country, in LA, in Chicago, in New York, in Brooklyn. We just now mentioned that. In places like Without a Man, and she has adequate resources. That's a whole different deal from a woman who needs to have the resources, gets pregnant, and then ends up marrying the government. That's a whole different deal. Study after study after study shows you there's a direct relationship between that and crime. And I'm not going to cite any conservative think tanks because people roll their eyes and go, there they go again. But I will cite that well-known neocon. His name is Tupac Shakur. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, if I had had a father in my life, I would have had some discipline and I would have been more confident. I didn't say it, Tupac did. Alan says, are we experiencing a presidency that defines the truest form of hubris? Funny you should mention that because today the Senate voted to pass the so-called nuclear option, which means now that nominees can be passed at a mere 51 vote. And you don't need to have the 60 votes that it takes to overcome a filibuster. First time it's ever happened, first major change in the Senate rules since I've been following the Senate since I was a little boy. And the reason is because Democrats claim that they're frustrated that the nominees that Obama has nominated for the D.C. Court of Appeals, the second most powerful Court of Appeals, have been held up. And it's true, they have been held up. But nominees under George W. Bush administration were held up as well. Democrats will tell you... I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be in Eldorado. Go to my website, LarryElder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.